Welcome back to the Alpha Gaming channel. My name is Harris Heller. I am your stream doctor, and today we're gonna make your stream look a little prettier. We've spent a lot of time on this channel talking about your overlay and the importance of design and the first impression that it gives, but once people are there, the whole pull of Twitch is that it's an interactive experience. They're watching you live, they talk to you in the chat, you talk back. Nothing is produced like YouTube and all the other social media platforms. While that makes it unique, that also makes it a lot more difficult because you have to fill, if you're doing this full time, an 8 to 9 hour void of sitting in front of a camera. What can you do to make it more interactive, to make it more engaging, and really to make it more professional and produced as much as you can on the live stream? Well, one of the things I've seen people do and that I like to do is make custom animations that are triggered by certain things that happen on stream. Animations that people look forward to seeing and make it a more engaging experience.
Let's go, baby.
Now, as you probably guessed, this is something that I activate whenever I make a really cool play or something great happens on stream, and we want to celebrate a little bit, get the chat hyped. And setting it up in your OBS is actually really easy. Editing and creating this is a totally different story, but adding it in is super simple, which is why I took this file and I put it in the Dropbox folder, link down below, so that you can use it in your own stream. Now, in the Dropbox folder, you'll find a WebM file, which is the video, and an audio file. There's a reason they're separate. I use WebM for all of my video files. It's a very small, lightweight file type, so it doesn't add a lot of load to your streaming PC, which can sometimes also be your gaming PC. You really want to give your computer as much free space for processing as possible. WebM is great for that. It also has a transparent layer, which is great from turning something that looks like this into something that looks like this. The only real downside I found to it is that WebM doesn't carry audio. So in order to have an animation that has audio that goes along with it, you have to have a separate audio file as well. So let's get started. First, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add a new source to your scene, and you're gonna make it a media source. Go ahead and find this WebM file that you downloaded from my Dropbox. Use that one. First thing you're gonna need to do is place this in the right spot on your stream. It's designed to pop up behind your camera, and I'd suggest you use it that way, otherwise you get this weird Pikachu just appearing out of nowhere. So make sure the first thing you do is drag that source down underneath your camera source. Now, while placing it in the right spot, I found a little trick that makes it a little easier. Go into the properties of this source and make sure you check loop. That way it plays over and over again, and it makes it a lot easier to move right into the perfect spot. A little trick to OBS if you didn't know, once you started moving a source, you can use the arrow keys to move it pixel by pixel. And that way you can get the fine tunes of exactly where you want it to go. So place it exactly where you want it to go, resize it however you want, and then go back into your properties and uncheck loop. Now go back and add the audio file using the exact same media source option. You don't have to move this one into any specific place because it's audio, doesn't matter. But I would recommend moving it right next to the video source on the source list, just for organization's sake. I just think it's a little easier to keep track of that way, but it's totally up to you. Now, the last step of this is to add a hotkey that activates this animation. Make sure it's a button that you're not really gonna use otherwise, like the F9 through 12 area, but in OBS you want to go into your settings, then into hotkeys. Go down and find the scene that you added this source into and find show, then whatever you named it. Add a hotkey for showing this. Now, one of the issues I found with OBS is that once the animation is done, it doesn't deactivate. It's still there, it's just the animation's over, so you can't see it. So after every time you use it, you do have to deactivate it. Make sure you use a separate button for deactivating both the video and the audio. Also, I would recommend using the exact same button for the video and the audio. That way they're both gonna start at the exact same time. So anyway, now you've got one hotkey to activate the video and the audio and one hotkey to deactivate the video and the audio. And you're set. You're good. It's done. You now have an animation on your stream to make it a little more fun and engaging for your viewers. I did also include a second animation for the opposite of what happens in game when maybe something goes really wrong. Feel free to add this in the exact same way, just make sure you put it on top of your camera. And also make sure you use a separate hotkey to activate it. But a little trick, use the exact same hotkey to deactivate it. That way, in case you ever forget to deactivate one of them, that clears all of your animations. And that's it. If I make any more really cool animations that I think you guys want to use, I'll continue putting them in this same Dropbox folder. Feel free to come back and check it periodically. Although if I do, I will probably update you in a future YouTube video. So make sure you subscribe so you know when any additional animations or overlays or anything are added. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and hang out with a Twitch fan during the streams. We have the dopest of Twitch fans. And we also have a Discord, which has a Stream Doctor channel built right into it. So if I didn't cover something very well, feel free to ask me any questions in there. But that's it. I hope this helped. And as always, happy streaming.